Hey guys, what's up? We are back with another video today. Today we are doing a video with American Football Network, so make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button to whichever channel you're on and then hop over to the other one and hit that subscribe button. Help us reach both of those goals of 600 subscribers by the end of January and 850 by the end of February for myself. So make sure you like the video, comment your thoughts and opinions. I am a Bears fan, and American Football Network is a Packers fan. So that should even out and make it a pretty interesting draft. So what are your thoughts going into today's video?
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Hopefully we'll get a good draft for the Packers, get some players that we like. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to both of us. Check out our websites and podcasts together. And yeah, it should be fun. So let's go and get started. Packers' first pick is going to be at 15. I'm hoping my guy Michael Mayer will be there. Jalen Carter's there, but I'm not picking him because that's unrealistic. Although I would love for him to fall.
Okay, Michael Mayer's there. Keely Ringo is there.
He is there.
CJ Stroud is there. Obviously, we won't take Stroud or Carter because it's
unrealistic.
Yeah, there's just no way. So, who do you like better, Smith or Ringo?
As of right now, I'm leaning towards Cam Smith. I think he's better than Ringo. But at the same time, I also wouldn't take a corner right here for the Packers. Obviously, Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez. I like both those guys better than all of them. They've already gone, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Michael Mayer's the pick here. I think it gives you a very good tight end, a position that is very old for the Packers. Tunyon is a free agent. Mercedes Lewis, I think we're bringing him back, but he's like 40 years old. So Michael Mayer gives you instantly a very good, the receiving threat of a number one receiver. And he gives you a very versatile tight end, an extra offensive lineman on run plays. He's just the all-around best receiving threat in the draft and probably one of the higher offensive linemen in the draft too. He could be.
Yeah. But yeah, I completely agree. I was just playing a little bit of just devil's advocate of saying, hey, maybe you have another position or stuff like that. But Mayer is by far and away, I think, the best case scenario for the Packers at that spot. If Jalen Carter or CJ Stroud fell, then yeah, that would be a crazy best case scenario. But the Bears wouldn't stay and pick at one most likely, and somebody's going to pick Stroud, Levis, and Bryce
Richardson.
Young before
probably Richardson too.
Maybe, yeah.
You know the way. Not that I think that Richardson should be a top 15 pick, but you know the way teams go after quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I say that, but last year there was only one taken in the first 3 rounds.
So
it can be a little crazy, but I think the pick here in this one is also obvious. I think it's Zay Flowers.
100%.
This guy is just incredible. I think he's a guy that's probably going to end up going first round, not falling to 45. I would love for him to fall to 45 and us get him. I love Zay Flowers. I think he would give Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers or whoever the quarterback ends up being a very good target. And you pair him with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs as they continue to develop. He continues to develop. I think you have a good young, solid receiving core there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even as a Bears fan, I think that Zay Flowers, a great pickup there, has good speed, has decent size, has had a good production at Boston College despite terrible quarterback play. So Zay Flowers is by far and away a great pickup there. As the next pick is pick number 78. Is he still going to be available?
I hope so.
Yeah, and he's available.
Yeah, we know who we're going with.
It's pretty obvious. I'm just going to go ahead and pick him. We'll talk about it. Cody Mock, the offensive tackle out of North Dakota State, by far and away one of the best offensive tackle, or I shouldn't say by far and away. He's one of the better offensive tackles and was by far and away the best pick on the board right there. So.
For sure, and I think it's a guy that you can bring in to replace Bakhtiari because I think it is time for Bakhtiari to go. His contract's huge, and he hasn't really played a whole lot the last 2 years and been very productive. So I think Cody Mock, you got your guy to replace him. You add another young piece along with Josh Myers from last year to that offensive line and start kind of rebuilding it because that offensive line is getting old other than the center position right now. And I think with 115, I know the pick we're going with too, Julius Brents, quarterback from Kansas State. I think this gives you a guy opposite of Jair Alexander. We do have Rasul Douglas, guys like that, Keyshawn Nixon, but I think Julius Brents gives you a guy that you develop him for a year or two. You can get rid of some of those older guys that are just kind of average, slightly above average corners, and have a guy that is young and talented, and you can put in there and he'll thrive, I think, in the Packers system.
So here's a debate that I'm going to have with you. Sidney Brown at safety. What is a bigger position to need? Personally, I think it's safety because I think Amos is gone, and I don't think you have a backup for Amos to play. Do you think safety and because I personally like Sidney Brown better than Julius Brents. So I know safety's less of a positional value than cornerback is.
That's why I went with Brents, just because it's less of a value. And we will have Darnell Savage for this year. And we will also have we can move a guy like Nixon or Douglas back to safety. I think that they can play both positions, but I think Brents will give you more of an upgraded corner, which is also going to be more valuable in the long run rather than a safety.
Okay. I think
I would be happy with either one. I would be happy with either one of them, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So personally, I like Sidney Brown at that spot, but I think both. Like, I don't disagree.
I think Brown is a little bit of a better player. I just think that Brents gives us more value.
This is like what we talk about when we don't do trades. You get a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, and a 7th-round pick, including 2 7th, a 6th, and a 5th, and you go down pick. 4 or 6 picks. 6 picks.
In the 5th round.
Yeah, it's just they either give up way too much or they give up too little. So in this one, I know who I'm going to pick. Who are you thinking of? But I think we are on the same page.
I know who I'm going with, and that's A.T. Perry from Wake Forest. I think this dude gives you a great receiving threat. I think Christian Watson could develop into a good number 2 receiver. I don't think he's going to be a number 1. I think Dobbs could be at best a number 2 receiver, but I think he's a solid 3 to have. But you add A.T. Perry to the mix. This is a guy who's very talented, very big, a big body receiver with great speed. This is a guy that could develop into a potential number 1 overall receiver as well as a flower. So, you give yourself a good 1 and either one of those guys and 2 good 2s in Christian Watson, A.T. Perry. I think this would be very good to get even more young weapons in for your new quarterback. I think that is one of the big things is getting young weapons in for the new quarterback and giving them a chance to succeed.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to head towards the safety position again. Jamie Robinson, the safety out of Florida State. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts in comparison to the safety out of Penn State? Jair Brown, I think that's how you say it.
I don't know as much about Brown as I do Robinson, obviously, because I'm a Clemson fan, so I've watched more ACC football. So I know a lot about Jamie Robinson. He's very fast, a ball hawk. Also has some hit power on him. I think he's a good coverage, good zone, can play man zone, all that. So I think he would be a good pick, and I think that is where you go safety here with this pick and get a guy that can start for you and be a good backup in the rotation. I think it'll be a rotation of safeties for the Packers, and I think adding him to the rotation will help that out significantly. So the Packers' next pick is 233.
This one I'm not really sure. I'm going to go more towards your expertise on the Packers. I don't think you need a running back.
No, we don't. I was just seeing who all was there. I really don't know who to go with here.
There's maybe if you think Baguette is any good, maybe go to linebacker.
No, what maybe really?
Mike Jones?
Michael Jones, maybe from Syracuse. I know he's a little undersized.
Clayton Tune? There's just nobody here that I'm in particular liking.
I think I would go with Clayton Tune to just add a talented backup like we talked about in our Steelers mock draft, a similar style to Jordan Love. I think I would add Clayton Tune, but really that's just a lack of liking anybody still left here. Maybe if my guy Kenny Logan's still here, but I think he's gone. I would imagine so. I would imagine he's not gone yet, is he?
Maybe not.
How far down do they have this guy?
Did he opt out?
Maybe he came back because I don't see him on here. Maybe he's coming back.
Yeah.
I'll look that up in just a second. But
we'll put it in the comment section, pin the comment. So
but yeah, I think I would go Clayton Tune here just for lack of anybody else to pick. And I know
we still have 4 more picks.
Yeah, I know who my next pick is going to be here.
Do you want to go Mikael Jones?
Oh, I was going to go with Kobe Turner, the D-line from Wake Forest.
I like
a guy that you can kind of get rid of Dean Lowry and guys like that. Just put Kobe Turner in there. I think he's a talented guy. And I know who my next pick is going to be as well, Connor Galvin, the offensive tackle from Baylor. What are your thoughts on those 2 picks?
I agree with both of them. Shout out to Scotty B, the Baylor King. I'm sure he'll be in the comment section down below. Shout out to him. Great member of the community here. But yeah, I think both of them solid picks. I don't know that much about either of them specifically. I know both of them have been solid players. I've seen a couple clips of each of them, but not anything in depth. So who I'm going to go with in the next pick is take a running back, and that's Evan Hall out of Northwestern.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick back here. Get a solid running back in. He's a pretty versatile guy. So I think that would be good to get him. And next pick, we're going Cam Jones. By the way, I did look it up. Kenny Logan is returning to Kansas next year, so that's a big pickup for them. And then we went with the linebacker Cam Jones from Indiana. I think he's a solid linebacker. Gives you some starting potential, which is really all that matters when you get back in the 200s. But a little recap of the draft. Michael Mayer, tight end from Notre Dame at 15. Zay Flowers, wide receiver from BC at 45. Cody Mock, offensive tackle from North Dakota State at 78. Julius Brents, cornerback from K-State at 115. A.T. Perry, Wake Forest wide receiver at 149. Jamie Robinson, safety from Florida State at 170. Clayton Tune, quarterback, Houston, 233. Kobe Turner, D-line, Wake Forest, 236. Connor Galvin, offensive tackle, Baylor, 243. 255, Evan Hull, running back, Northwestern, and 258, Cam Jones, linebacker from Indiana. So, that pretty much wraps today's video up. What are your thoughts on that draft?
I think, unfortunately, I dislike it. I as a Bears fan, I dislike it. I think that it fills a lot of needs. You get a tight end in Michael Mayer. You get 2 wide receivers in A.T. Perry and Zay Flowers. And you fill out the biggest needs on the roster. I think that this draft would be really helpful. I think that the Packers do have some amount of picks to really help themselves out, but really I think it comes down to who is playing quarterback and how good are they next year. I think that's really all it comes down to, and whether you can stay healthy, because with having an older roster, that is a big deal, is health.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Staying healthy is a big factor. Yeah, that pretty much wraps today's video up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to both of our channels. His channel will be in the description of mine. I'm sure mine will be in the description of his. So make sure you check those out. Check out our websites, our podcasts, support our shows, all that stuff. And we appreciate you guys. Leave your comments of who you think we should have picked down into the comment section, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.